Doctor, I don't think there's too many people around that aren't affected in some way by Alzheimer's disease or some form of dementia. What are we learning about those diseases, those conditions, in terms of either prevention or reversal of some of the symptoms?
Well, let me give you the key thing to know about that is most people diagnosed with Alzheimer's don't have it. They've been misdiagnosed. This was a recent study out of Hawaii. I live in Hawaii, and this where they actually did autopsies on people diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and the majority of people didn't have it.
You don't know for sure if it's Alzheimer's until you take a sample of the brain, is that correct?
Yeah, and you don't want to do that while a person's
Probably
alive.
not.
So the thing is, one, most people don't have it, and two, even people who have it, the medications in standard use, which would be the Aricept and Namenda, they were able to torture statistical significance, but clinically, I think, in my humble opinion, a waste of money. What can you do, though? Well, another key point. People, you'll notice when people have Alzheimer's, they don't go from being, driving a car and being great, and then overnight,
No.
it tends to be this progression. Now, you'll see in some people, it's stepwise. They're doing fine, and then they take, you can say, God, last week, great grandma suddenly went way down, and then they go along, another drop. When you see those little stepwise drops, those are usually mini strokes, and 1 aspirin a day, and you can take it as willow bark if you prefer, but that's one where it's worth the aspirin a day. Really stabilizes that and can improve function and decrease the risk of the strokes. Number 2, again, it's when you see one day the person knows all the kids, and the next day they don't remember the name, and then a week later they remember the kids and they don't remember the names, they're going in and out. It's not that the brain is going to perfectly normal to totally wiped out. It's a few percent, 2 to 3% decrease in brain function is the difference between recognizing your family, being able to drive, versus being totally confused. So you don't have to get rid of the Alzheimer's, you just have to improve brain function 5–10%. It's easy to do. You just need to give your brain a tune-up. So some basic things. 1, nutritional support. B vitamins, magnesium, B12. I will give B12 shots at a drop of a hat in anybody with confusion. I like a vitamin powder called the Energy Revitalization System vitamin powder. That one you can get at Vitality101.com. Any health food store will have it. And that's going to have high levels of all of that. Number 2, treat the low thyroid, even if the tests are normal. That low thyroid, which is very common, especially as people get into the age where they're getting the confusion, restores mental functioning a lot. In men, treat the testosterone deficiency. But again, more is not better. If you're giving somebody who's barely able to get out of bed 100 milligrams of testosterone, they're going to have heart attacks. Not because it's increasing the heart attack, not heart disease, it's because they're getting up and being more active, and it unmasks things. 25 to 50 milligrams of the bioidentical a day. You'll find those simple things, and in the book Real Cause, Real Cure, or on my website at Vitality101.com, there's a health, or there's conditions A to Z or health A to Z on top, drop down box, 100 health conditions. Click on Alzheimer's, very detailed thing. But a couple other quick things. It's amazing how many people, especially when they get in their 70s and 80s, you see people on 10, 15 prescription medications. And I will tell you, if you take their grandkids and put them on those 15 medications and say, go drive, they're going to look like they're stoned out of their gourd. And what happens a lot of times is when you take people off their unnecessary medications, and again, you want to work with a holistic doctor to do this, I will see the Alzheimer's will often disappear. And it turns out to have been the medications, and they're giving medications to treat the side effects of the other medications for the other things. It's very easy for a doctor to give a medicine, but the doctor has to take time to review things to stop it. 30 seconds to write a prescription, 10, 15 minutes of reviewing everything to say you don't need that anymore. Your regular doctor is paid 5 minutes to see you for 5 minutes. Beyond that, they're losing money. Go to a holistic doctor.